Hello, Dexter.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the TV shows that threw us a curveball that just didn't make much sense. This list is riddled with spoilers, so here's a spoiler alert.
We just couldn't see putting that father, that family through any more of this. Bailey, it was all of us. What do you want to do?
Number 10, Bobby is Alive, Dallas. The life and times of the wealthy Ewing family had America wrapped throughout the 1980s. When Bobby Ewing was killed at the end of the 8th season, it was huge news. Then, after a whole 9th season without him, he just shows up in his wife's shower.
When I woke up, I thought that you were dead.
What?
I had a nightmare, a terrible nightmare.
Viewers had to wait for months to learn that everything we'd watched between his death and his return had actually only ever been his would-be widow's extended nightmare. It meant that none of the stories we'd followed for weeks until then even mattered. Not only was the whole thing frustrating, it meant that we had to go back and erase an entire season's worth of relationships, conflict, and character development from our brains.
Don't ever leave me.
I won't. I love you.
Number 9, The Sonic Screwdriver, Doctor Who.
Rory! Listen, she's not dead. Well, she is dead, but it's not the end of the world. Well, it is the end of the world. Actually, it's the end of the universe. Oh, no, hang on.
Time travel and interdimensional wormholes can have the potential to get messy. In all iterations, the Doctor in Doctor Who battles all manner of supernatural creatures, and typically escapes by the skin of their teeth. But fans had to wonder about the fortuitous solution in the episode The Big Bang. Here, the 11th Doctor finds himself in a seemingly inescapable situation, but he quite simply travels back from the future to give his companion, Rory, the sonic screwdriver, that Rory ultimately uses to free him.
It's easy to open from the outside. Just point and press. Now go. Oh, and when you're done, leave my screwdriver in her top pocket. Good luck. What do you mean?
The day is saved, but the paradox is clear, and we're left to wonder if there are ever any especially high stakes to the Doctor's adventures, if they can just time travel and serve up a deus ex machina whenever it's needed.
How did you do that? You gave me this?
No, I didn't.
Number 8, Marion's Death, Pretty Little Liars.
Oh, it's that goody two-shoes, Miss Kavanaugh. She can't see me like this. You have to help me.
The 6th and penultimate season finally solves the ongoing mystery around the death of Toby Kavanaugh's mother, Marion. Or did it? In the show, Bethany Young is revealed to have pushed Marion off a roof years before.
Oh my God. Bethany, what did you do? What did I do? You pushed her. Freak.
The circumstances are fraught and filled with drama, to be sure, but the revelation also poses a significant timing problem. Toby is supposed to have been a child when his mother dies. However, Marion Kavanaugh was seen in a flashback from season 4, and Toby is well into his teenage years at that time. It just doesn't match up. For a show with this many mysteries and puzzles for viewers to solve, it's a pretty glaring error.
I'm just a little tired.
No, you're not just a little tired, Mom. I think something's going on with you.
Number 7, Hannah's Return, Dexter.
I feel kind of dizzy.
Dad?
Hello, Dexter.
Dexter Morgan almost met his match in Hannah McKay, who becomes his lover and deadly accomplice. By the end of the 7th season, though, Hannah is implicated in a murder and makes a daring escape from justice.
I'd like to talk to you about Wayne Randall.
What a surprise. He's the detective. What are you?
Lab geek.
You'd think such a high-profile fugitive would want to stay undercover for a while. Not so, apparently. The very next season, Dexter awakes from having his drink spiked, only to see Hannah standing over him. It's a pretty fun twist, but it falls apart once you think about it. Not only is Hannah just out in public, but she's married to a pretty high-profile businessman. There's nothing undercover about her. If this is living life as a fugitive, she's doing it on hard mode.
Dexter Morgan. Maggie's told me about you.
Oh?
How you were her boyfriend until you betrayed her, turning her into the police. Quite a predicament you left her in.
Number 6, Bailey fires everyone. Grey's Anatomy.
I forged the name on Gabby's paperwork.
No, it was not. It was me.
No, it was me. I forged it.
Alex, stop that!
For more than 20 seasons, the physicians at Gray Sloan Memorial Hospital haven't just bent the rules of the medical industry. They've broken, mocked, and smashed them to pieces on numerous occasions. Not only that, but the people in power at this hospital seem to believe their doctors are so good, they can just look the other way on major ethical violations.
You're fired.
What?
Who's fired?
All 3 of you. You're all fired.
So when Dr. Bailey fires Meredith Grey, Richard Weber, and Alex Karev over some minor insurance fraud, it feels like a weird time for her to enforce the rules. It's especially crazy since we've literally seen Bailey herself commit insurance fraud in season 5.
I know I'm supposed to get a CT, but if we start the surgery after midnight, he's not covered. We're basically bankrupting him. I say we skip the CT.
Oh, you say? No, you don't say, you ask. And the answer is we don't skimp on medicine to save money. Get the CT.
Number 5, Melisandre's necklace, Game of Thrones. Introduced in the 2nd season, this mysterious enchantress was a major player in the battle for the Iron Throne. It's revealed in the 6th season that Melisandre's youthful looks are the result of a magic spell. Once she removes her enchanted choker, she reverts to her true form, taking on a much older, decrepit appearance. But eagle-eyed viewers were confused. Back in season 4, Melisandre was seen in a bath very much without her necklace, and back then she was still her usual youthful self.
No, not that one. You don't even want to touch that one. Next to it.
Although fans did at one time rally to explain theories as to why, Melisandre actress Carice Van Houten herself has called this an oops moment. It's still somehow not as bad as a mistake as that Starbucks cup, though.
I can't speak for the flames, but he's gone.
Number 4, Claire's death, Heroes Reborn. The original Heroes went through great pains to show us how Claire Bennett was virtually indestructible. And of course, there was the often repeated line, "Save the cheerleader, save the world." But by the end of Heroes Reborn, that had all changed. Through a convoluted series of events, Claire ends up dying in childbirth before the events of the ill-conceived revival series.
I might not be ready.
Melina, the storms will only get worse. The world will need your power soon.
Again, one of the constants of the show was her invincibility, so to see that this was just quickly explained away by off-screen events was a little too difficult to believe. We're talking about a character here who had woken up from her own autopsy and walked away from a nuclear blast, but all of that was apparently forgotten.
We gotta get you out of here.
Number 3, the prom video, Friends.
Okay, you guys, I think we've seen enough. Let's turn it off. Okay, fine. Well, I'm not gonna watch, all right?
The plot twist that Ross had already gotten to be Rachel's emergency date for prom finally opened up her eyes to how much he cared for her, and for how long. But the prom videotape at the center of the episode opened up a Pandora's box of plot holes regarding Chandler Bing's history with the core friend group.
Oh, that was my bathing suit from high school. I was a little bigger then.
Oh, I thought that's what they used to cover Connecticut when it rained.
Chandler's shock over Monica's weight definitely doesn't make much sense, as other episodes establish that Chandler met Monica during that period. So why would he be so surprised here?
Oh, this is Monica.
Hi, I'm Ross's little sister.
Okay.
Number 2. It Was All a Book. Roseanne.
When Darlene met Mark, I thought he went better with Becky.
Get me a beer.
Get it yourself, slob. I guess I was wrong.
In its 9th season, this working-class sitcom family won the lottery, but the show stumbled to a frustrating and increasingly surreal series finale. In one of the most bizarre retcons in TV history, Roseanne Connor reveals that the final season, and even much of the later seasons, were actually only plot points in a novel she'd been writing. Stories and characters we'd come to love were then totally rewritten in these last few moments. She swapped her daughter's real-life partners, undoing years of character development, and even killed off her beloved husband Dan.
I lost Dan last year when he had his heart attack. But he's still the first thing I think about when I wake up, and the last thing I think about before I go to sleep.
It opened up more questions than answers, and when the show returned in 2018, the writers somewhat smartly retconned the retcon.
Dan! What? I thought you were dead.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You'll have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Dan is somehow Gossip Girl. Gossip Girl.
I'd overheard enough conversations to be able to mimic the language of the Constance girls, but every writer needs his muse. And it wasn't until that photo of Serena in the white dress that I knew I had something strong enough to actually create a legend.
It was a long-anticipated series finale, promising one of modern TV's most intriguing reveals. But the show's writers dropped a massive, nonsensical bomb when they finally revealed Dan Humphrey as the eponymous gossip blogger. They tried their best to make this make sense, but anyone who'd paid even a little bit of attention over the years could poke holes in this clumsiest of plot twists. For one thing, Dan was victimized by Gossip Girl as much as anyone. He was as upset by their posts as any other character, even when he was alone.
Call us old school, but sometimes the fairy tale ending requires the knight to get off his ass and saddle up his steed.
There were moments where Dan was being outright blackmailed by Gossip Girl too, and communicating with them over text. There were just so many moments that after the reveal totally fell apart.
It's from her.
Open it. Well, I guess we have our mission.
Did any of these plot holes get you upset all over again? Let us know in the comments.
I'm so sorry, I really am. But come on, I was an idiot back then. I rushed the stage at a Wham concert, for crying out loud.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.